Let's address the elephant in the room. I'm the hottest person in the world.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Please?
For which movie?
Rachel Zegler just committed Hollywood's cardinal sin, mocking the very fans who made her famous.
I'm a narcissist.
Leaked messages from her private group chat show her allegedly ridiculing Disney diehards as cringe, obsessed, and low IQ.
This started with the movie star Rachel Zegler, who I believe would be categorized as a loudmouth dope.
The internet is erupting, boycotts are trending, and the calls to recast Snow White are getting louder by the hour.
What you do when you have this narcissistic nightmare trying to ruin a film.
This leak might have just derailed her entire career, and you won't believe who exposed her or what she said next. The leak. The bombshell hit social media without warning, screenshots from a private group chat, blurry at first, but unmistakably showing Rachel Zegler's name and profile picture.
If I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
I don't need your business.
Within hours, these messages spread like wildfire across platforms as Disney fans meticulously analyzed every word, emoji, and reaction. The messages were brutal.
It was supposed to come out like a year and a half ago. And then we went after them so hard because of their variety of ridiculous sins that they actually went into full-scale reshoots on Snow White when we announced that we had a competitor.
In one screenshot, she allegedly wrote about Disney fans. They dress up like cartoon animals and cry over theme park parades. I can't tell if they need therapy or a restraining order.
This movie was like you took the original Snow White and just put everything through this filter. So from the casting to the class politics, it all was just...
But that was just the beginning of what would become Rachel's biggest PR nightmare yet. The source. According to insiders, the group chat included several of Zegler's longtime friends, a former PR assistant, and a rising social media influencer.
This is what theaters look like across the world, and it just keeps getting worse. The memes. Let's say that you were in a Hollywood movie, and the trailer for that movie dropped on YouTube, and it instantly became the #1 most downvoted trailer in the history of the planet.
Who's reportedly the person behind the leak. This wasn't random. Sources close to the situation claim Rachel had been talking down to this person for months, creating a personal vendetta that finally exploded into public view.
It's great, okay? It's great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I a psychopath?
She thought everyone in that circle was loyal, an anonymous source told entertainment outlets. Turns out someone was screen recording everything. The betrayal was calculated, timed perfectly to coincide with promotional activities for Snow White, ensuring maximum damage to Zegler's public image.
You know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Yeah.
Weird. I'm a narcissist.
I don't need your business.
The worst messages. One screenshot in particular sent shockwaves through the Disney fandom. When asked if she was excited for the Snow White fan premiere in Anaheim, Rachel allegedly replied, "Please, I'd rather eat glass than smile at another sweaty dad in a dwarf costume asking for an autograph." That single message was reposted over 100,000 times within the first day, igniting a full-scale fan revolt.
The studio released their Snow White remake starring Rachel Zegler, and in the process shattered more little girls' dreams than Harvey Weinstein. That's why no one bothered to show up. Empty theaters across the country tell the true story about this crime against cinema.
Enjoying the vibe and excitement of the streets of London.
Hashtags like Artria replace Rachel and Try Not My Snow White started trending immediately, with users calling her ungrateful, elitist, and Disney's worst casting decision ever. The silence. In the midst of this growing firestorm, Rachel's response has been deafening silence.
The lead actress of the film decided to sit in an empty theater so she can watch her name flash on the screen as she squealed that her film was #1 for 6 days.
No tweet, no Instagram story, no carefully crafted PR statement. Nothing.
Rachel Zegler was a bad decision from day one. She can sing, I'll give her that, but she's got a lot of power, but absolutely no range. Plus, on the flip side, she can't act, and she's a smug big mouth, which even Disney now admits they couldn't control.
She briefly liked a post defending her, then quickly unliked it hours later when fans started tagging Disney's official accounts demanding her removal.
Most importantly, Zegler is not fairy tale princess material. She is a four-flop phony and a pure Hollywood poison. Her first movie, West Side Story, bombed. Shazam! Fury of the Gods double bombed. Y2K, even a bigger bomb. And now we have Snow White, the biggest bomb of them all.
Industry experts are divided on her strategy. Some believe her silence is legally mandated, suggesting Disney executives have ordered her to stay quiet while they assess the damage. Others see it as a desperate attempt to ride out the storm.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Think about it. Disney just spent over $250 million for a fairy tale hand grenade that went over budget, got reshot twice, replaced real actors with 7 CGI serial killers, booted the prince, banned True Love, and banished 2 of movies' history's most iconic songs. One of them just happens to be Someday My Prince Will Come. It's gone.
But with creators, influencers, and even former Disney employees piling on, the damage may already be irreparable. The context. This controversy doesn't exist in isolation. It comes after months of Rachel making headlines for comments about the original Snow White film that many fans found dismissive.
God forbid a woman dream about true love. We're all just sitting around here, oh, maybe I could be president one day. I hate that, I just want to be president.
Fastest way to tank your career, go out there and start running your mouth and trashing the original IP of the film you're in.
In previous interviews, she emphasized her character wasn't waiting for a prince and wasn't dreaming about true love. Statements that already had traditional Disney fans concerned about the direction of the remake.
Rachel Zegler is a loudmouth dope.
No, I've been getting a lot of questions about, how do I feel? Let's address the elephant in the room.
Her press tour raised eyebrows when she described the 1937 classic as outdated, called Prince Charming basically a stalker.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her.
Say it louder so your other eye can hear you.
And appeared to mock the idea of romantic fulfillment. What was once seen as refreshingly modern by some now looks like contempt for the source material.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
That laugh.
That is
not going to be saved by
you
the
wrote
prince.
it?
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can.
And worse, contempt for the fans who cherish it. The industry fallout. Behind closed doors, Hollywood insiders say Disney executives are furious. What started as a promising career trajectory, from her breakthrough in West Side Story to landing iconic Disney roles, now threatens to become a cautionary tale about alienating your core audience. You can critique the studio, the script, even the marketing, a former Disney social media strategist told entertainment outlets. But when you go after the fans, especially the dedicated fandom that buys merchandise, park tickets, and supports these reboots, that's career self-destruction. The timing couldn't be worse. With Snow White already facing production challenges, increased budget concerns, and competing releases, the last thing Disney needed was their lead actress seemingly at war with the very audience they need to fill theater seats. The theories. As with any Hollywood scandal, conspiracy theories are multiplying. Some believe this was an intentional hit job from within Disney, a way to distance the company from a troubled production without making it look like an official firing. Others suspect Rachel's team might be behind a counter leak, blaming a former assistant for fabricating the screenshots, though tech experts have already stated the messages appear authentic. The most persistent theory comes from industry watchers who believe this isn't just about Rachel Zegler, but represents a larger reckoning in Hollywood over how studios approach classic remakes. The leak, whether orchestrated or opportunistic, perfectly captures the tension between modernizing beloved stories and respecting their original spirit, and the fans caught in the middle. Conclusion: what started as private messages has become a very public disaster. Rachel Zegler, once positioned as Disney's next breakout star, now faces a battle to salvage both her role and reputation. As the controversy continues to unfold, one thing remains clear. In the age of social media, what happens in private rarely stays that way, especially when you've alienated the very people who powered your rise to fame. The fairy tale has taken a dark turn, and Snow White's happily ever after suddenly looks very much in doubt. Disney has yet to make an official statement, but as fan pressure mounts and box office projections shift, the question isn't just whether Rachel keeps her role, it's whether this controversy rewrites how Hollywood approaches its most treasured stories and the fans who love them.